Hey Lego fans, hope you've got your popcorn ready because Star Wars The Mandalorian and Grogu is in cinemas and on the cover of Blocks magazine to mark the occasion. Yes, Star Wars is back on the big screen and we are excited about it. Blocks is a 116-page magazine that we release every single month, and it is packed with deep dive content for Lego fans. So if you're looking to enhance your hobby, take it to the next level, learn more about what goes on with the brick, this is the way. So, as the cover suggests, we're going deep into the development of the Mandalorian and Grogu Lego sets. So, we talked to Benjamin, Lucy, and Cesar about the amazing models that they've created to coincide with the launch of the film. We look into how they've revisited the Razor Crest, how they've developed a brand new Starship for the first time, the Anzellan's droid workshop that flies around the galaxy. And Cesar tells us all about creating an ultimate collector series version of the Naboo N1 starfighter. Of course, not the yellow version from the Phantom Menace, but the battered, beat-up version that Din Djarin and Peli cobbled together in the Book of Boba Fett. These are fascinating insights that tell you all about how the new models were developed. And that is just one section of the magazine, though. There's loads of other great stuff. So if Star Wars is not your favorite theme, we're also covering loads of other things this month, like Ninjago, Zelda, editions, Technic, loads of different Lego themes throughout the 116 pages, plus fabulous fan creations that will inspire your creativity. Now, as well as looking into how sets are designed, we're looking into how the latest board game has been designed. So Lego Ninjago Destiny's Bounty Adventures is the new Dotted Games board game that's coming out in July. And in this game, you get to play as 4 ninja from Ninjago. Destiny's Bounty is under attack, and it's a collaborative game. So you're playing with the other players to defeat the bad guys. And Jonas, who's worked on this game, tells us all about how they created it, how the Ninjago theme inspired the whole concept of it, how they made sure that it felt authentic to that, and how they put Lego building into the board game while still making it a compelling board game. Really interesting stuff because it's a really unique creative challenge to bring the world of board games and Lego building together. We love getting nerdy about interesting Lego topics. So if you've ever opened a box of Lego bricks and thought, why are they in bags? How do they end up in bags? This feature is going to tell you all about that. It also covers why Lego bags are numbered and where that idea first came on. So this is one of those really interesting little rabbit holes that we've gone down to get you the information. And it's written by Daniel Konstanski, author of Secret Life of Lego Bricks. So this is someone who really knows his stuff about the ins and outs of how the Lego group works. Now, once you've opened up those bags, tip the bricks out, and they've gone into a massive bucket or carefully sorted drawers, however it is you choose to keep them, they, of course, create amazing, beautiful things that just can be so impressive when the right talented fan gets creative. And Full Steam is this amazing world that Markus Ronge has created. So he hasn't just created the models, he's built a whole story around these models. He's got a whole concept for this amazing steampunk sci-fi world that exists. And he gets deep into how he develops it in this feature. And we also show you some of the interesting techniques he's used so that you can then apply them to your own models. And yeah, it's really fascinating to see what he's been building. Now, if you prefer instructions, though, if you like things step by step, we've also got 3 mini builds in this issue, including a tiny version of the Jeep Wrangler from Jurassic Park and a miniaturized helicarrier from Marvel Avengers. Now, these are really intricate little models. They're so impressive. And the step-by-step instructions will show you how to do them. And there's also links to the parts lists, so you can order the bricks that you need to make them in case you don't have them in your collection. Then we also review Lego sets in Blocks magazine every month. And between the team, we have built literally thousands upon thousands of Lego sets. So, we really know what we're talking about when we're reviewing Lego sets. We can give you advice on which ones might be good for you, which ones you might want to skip. And some of the ones we're looking at this month are Marvel and the Editions Ferrari helmets, but we're also covering Friends, Dreams, Star Wars, all sorts of different Lego themes within this month's reviews section. Oh, Legend of Zelda as well. You've got to check that one out and find out if the new diorama based on the Ocarina of Time is one for you. And then we have a really nice feature towards the back of the magazine called Build and Chat. And the thing I love about this one is it's where I sit down with a Lego design professional who talks in a really broad way about their career. So what their creative background was, what they were into as a child, how that kind of led into their education, how they came to work at the Lego Group, and then highlighting some key projects that they've been involved in. Milan Reindl works on Lego Technic and was also a judge on Lego Masters. So he's got some really interesting stories to share. And he's got some really good insights, for example, into B models and how when he started off at the company, he was doing a lot of those, but how that tied really closely into his background as a Lego fan. So it's really fascinating stuff. It really gives you a flavor of all the different kinds of people who work at the Lego Group, the different kinds of jobs they do, the different approaches they take to their work. And as you read these different interviews over the months, you really get a sense of what a big creative space it is in Billund, Denmark, where the Lego Group and the design team are based. So that is just a very short taster of what's in this latest issue of Blocks magazine. I've just given you the whistle-stop tour there. As I say, 116 pages. It's available to buy at blocksmag.com. You can go over there and order a single issue, or you can order one of our great value subscription packages. And they save you money. You get the magazine turning up every single month early before it arrives in shops. And you also pay a little bit less than if you were buying the magazines individually. And if you really love Star Wars, we've got an entire special collector's edition of the magazine dedicated to Lego Star Wars. It's 132 pages long, and it's packed with interviews, builds, step-by-step instructions, amazing imagery, all sorts of great stuff. The interviews in that one include Ashley Eckstein, the voice of Ahsoka Tano, Anthony Daniels, the actor behind C-3PO, Sam Witwer, the voice of Maul in Maul Shadow Lord, Jens Kronvold Fredriksson, the design director of Lego Star Wars, Ryan Brickman McNaught talks about Lego Star Wars, the exhibition, and of course, lots of wonderful Mandalorian-inspired creations, including Moff Gideon's base and beautiful scenes inspired by the first season. So go over to blocksmag.com and upgrade your Lego hobby with one of our magazines.